Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday morning. Welcome to Morning Matrix. And my name is Michelle Lane, if we don't know each other. Today, I want to talk about creating a foundation of harmonic expression. And what does that mean exactly? Well, whenever I'm speaking of any of the energies of the day or any of the invitations through a conversation of numerology, through a conversation of self mastery, through a conversation of emotional intelligence, even, it's all back to self. And so when I think of creating a foundation of harmonic expression, I think of the times where I didn't quite feel myself, or I felt lost, or I'd just gone through some really huge events in life. And so what was didn't seem to be what is now. And each of those moments was an invitation to go within and to heal something that was rising up and to allow myself to lean into a piece of the unknown with more safety and confidence within so I could be fully expressed. Whether that was conversations where in other spaces I may not have spoke up, maybe it was in asking for what I wanted or even the consideration of what I wanted. You know, so many of us, um, and if you're relating, have kids who are grown, and we find ourselves in what's next, this next phase of life. And I knew a few years ago, my oldest daughter was graduating high school and my youngest was coming up quickly behind. And I had that moment where I think a lot of us face ourselves and are like, who are we going to be next? We've been the taxi, we've been the mom, we've been working on everyone else's schedules. And in this moment, there's this opportunity for me to grow. What will I spend my next days with? Even if we retire, what will I spend my time with? And it really got me thinking, maybe as it does you, what is my relationship? What's the quality of my relationship with my husband? What's the quality of my relationship with everyone in my life? And am I am I being fully me at this point? And, I was 48 years old when I started to discover personal development and really diving in deeper, which led to clearing away so much of the stress and then my nervous system that was operating on high all the time. And as it began to calm and as I began to put in daily practices, I began to set a foundation for myself where I experienced more than just getting up, looking at emails, doing the to do list, feeling like there was the next thing coming and you had to hurry up, right? It felt like the time's always ticking. And I began to slowly open up to creating some peace for myself, creating a morning that worked for me, waking up a little bit earlier and really landing into setting my emotional state of being for the day. And it really began to ripple effect out into my life. And so every time life feels like it's getting chaotic again, I check in. What's what am I compromising in that moment? What part of this routine, what part of that time for myself have I compromised again to where it's creating more stress and it's keeping me from the harmony that loving myself, loving that time, really filling my cup allows me to move out into my own space, my own world to create more harmony as well. There's a six of clubs in our contract today, and whether you know numerology or not, once you do, there's this energetic component of the day that's allowing us to clear karmic expression of the past. The way that we've been thinking about things, the way that we've been expressing it, whether it's reactions, whether it's, waiting for the shoe to drop. It's time to let that go and create a new foundation of what brings you love and harmony in your life. Because when you love it, they'll love it. And so often we're not considering ourselves as the participant in this discovery. And the six is really asking us, you're getting closer to what you want. Some of those seeds have been planted. Now's not the time to stop. The curiosities that you have, the passions that you have, the things you've discovered, now is the time to really lean in and let them begin to unfold by choosing and deciding that it is for you, that you can participate, that you don't have to sacrifice your time, your dream, or wait until. God, there's so much waiting until, well, when the kids are older or when this is easier or when there's more time. That no, So many things at once. The time never really comes. We must choose and decide and then create that space. We may look at the things that are filling our schedules, the things that are creating that non-harmonic expression, and move them out, but also be willing to move in what will work, what we are curious about, what we will explore. And that six is saying, am I attached to what I think I can see? Do I think I know how it's going to play out? Do I think that I know that this isn't for me? And am I pre-deciding what isn't for me, or allowing myself to land into what I love and what brings me joy and what brings me harmony, because it's my life too. And as parents, I think we forget that. We forget that we participate. We're so used to putting our lives on the shelf. And, when the kids were little, it has its own phase. But as they're growing and as they're moving on to their own lives, it's time to come back to ourselves and not shortchange that. Look at where we've gotten ourselves comfortable. Maybe be willing to see, what is that bigger dream that's asking me to leap? And to allow ourselves the expression of coming into that dream, to that next level, to what we really want. Because if you find yourself like I did a few years back, not even knowing how to answer that question, then it's a beautiful invitation to begin discovering yourself more. And in doing that, it enhances the rest of your circle, right? You'll learn things about yourself that you didn't know. And so many of us, everyone else in our life can see so clearly the beautiful aspects of ourselves, and we're usually about 3 months behind what they see. Anybody think and feel that before? It's time for you to see your extraordinary. It's time for you to live your best life. You don't have to wait until something goes wrong for you to change. We get to create this experience in this lifetime. We get to choose love over fear. We get to choose to amplify the frequency of love in our life, not just love in relationship with others, but that frequency of, I wake up every day and I love my life. I love my body. I love myself. And we're not taught to spend time and focus there. In fact, I spent pretty much the majority of my first 4 decades, almost 5 decades, beating myself up, driving myself to achievement and perfection, but not claiming that I was trying to be perfect. But I wasn't loving myself, not in the way that I care for myself now. I was doing all the things that we are told we should, need to, or have to, and expecting a certain outcome, instead of becoming the energetic expression that brought the harmony in my life. The results came because I was being that feeling state, that expression. And so much has shifted in a mere 6, almost 7 years now, to where I see that person, my previous self, and I have so much love for her for what she didn't know. But I love me now as well. And the me that's not afraid to go for those dreams, who's not afraid to claim what I want, who's not afraid to stand and feel safe in my own body, and not expect the safety to come from someone or something else outside of me, like I thought that's where it came from. The money, the love, the relationships, the health. It starts in here. So today's that day to just take an assessment. You've made decisions, you've planted those seeds. Don't stop watering the sproutings that are coming through. Nurture them, care for them, bring love and harmony into those spaces, and let the other places go. Because when you let them go and recognize what's stealing that energy from you, that ability to love, you'll realize it's perhaps wrapped around a story from the past that doesn't play in your role today. And allow yourself to really get curious. If I change that thinking, if I take my thinking higher, if I take my thinking into what can I love about this situation to allow me to love even more a different experience, then you get to claim the experience that you want to have. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Let me know how this conversation lands. Let me know if this is a place that you find yourself in. I'd love to continue the conversation in the comments. Hope you have a beautiful Thursday. I'll talk to you guys next week. We'll be back on schedule on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 8:30 a.m. PST. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.